Over the last 25 years, I've had the privilege of interviewing and highlighting some truly interesting people. Everyone who is anyone, both the famous and the infamous. From presidents and their first ladies to kings and queens, movie stars and pop stars, captains of industry, heads of state, sports personalities, innovative entrepreneurs, and some pretty fascinating everyday people. Today, I am proud to introduce you to Dr. Chih Huang, a molecular biology educator whose life's work is dedicated to finding out why cancer actually happens in an effort to prevent and stop the progression of all forms of cancer. What a wonderful and ambitious thing to be your life's mission, Dr. Ruchi. Let's start with your background. How did you decide that you wanted to pursue a career in education, ma'am?
Because my father was a president of a university at Taiwan, so family has a lot of influence on me for going into education.
Yes, your father was an educator himself. So, obviously, you learned at the knee of a very smart man, and I imagine that family played a big part in your drive to be the very best at what you are.
Yes, uh, it, I have three mentors. One is Amanda Hale, the other is Joe Bonner, the third is James Bonner at Virginia Tech and Ohio State and Caltech. These three mentors really changed my life and changing my way of thinking. I show how to help human beings. And I'm very grateful. I'm very, very fortunate to have these three mentors. That's the reason, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. So I talked a little bit when I was introducing you about your work in molecular biology, but in layman's term, can you explain the basic premise of your research in molecular biology?
Yeah, correctly. There's a wasn't a quick, and then they had the sequence structure of DNA made. This genetic information, how can that help everybody's life? It needed to be that information to be transcribed and translated. My early work has a lot to do with that.
Yes, that makes sense to me. So now what is the application of your research? How, in other words, can the data you gather be used for the betterment of humanity, which is your goal?
Yeah. The goal is to find the principle of molecular biology and educate a whole group of good scientists with a good mind and to devote to understand why is a cancer, just like you said, and how we can prevent it. Yeah. The most important part is the drug you have has has to be absolutely not hurting the normal cell. The normal cell and the disease cell, either by infection by the viruses or by changing to be a cancer, only the drug should only tackle that. That's different from a lot of people's idea. So our drug is a plant material and it is really have a lot of not toxic ones, but has an effect because it affects the cancer metabolism and after infection by this virus.
Have you been recognized with any awards or accolades for the work that you've been doing?
A lot,
Uh huh.
a lot, mostly overpraise. Yeah, we have to be a basic scientist. You let the result tell people what you have done, not to over exaggerate the situation. I won't do that for that reason. Yeah. I will not come to say I have a way to know why cancer will happen. Yeah. But I feel uh, so far I have three slides to show to say this drug can do um, just what I said. Cancer is not something like one thing goes wrong. There's many reasons would affect the metabolism to let it happen. That is a very difficult question. Therefore, You only can base on the result you have, then look back to see the mechanism. Yeah.
So, tell me what you think the future holds for you.
Uh, that's a very good question. Do you know I'm already 89 years old by April 2nd? That's my birthday. So I still feel I have enough energy. My group and all the very, very nice students, postdoc, and then associates can help me, can help the field to perhaps achieve some progress and in the right direction for cancer and for coronavirus.
You know, I'm glad that you brought up coronavirus because I was going to ask you, in the midst of this pandemic, have you learned anything new about cancer with what we've learned about coronavirus?
Yes, there's a lot of in common. Coronavirus, you mentioned about um, coming to the human, it goes through the respiratory uh, the trend. So all those cells are affected. When they're affected, it's it's a disease. Yeah. So in addition to have the vaccine, this drug treatment is also important. Yeah. So that should go side by side. Yeah.
Dr. Rucci, I understand you have some slides that might be able to help explain your research. Tell me about slide one.
Slide one is um, the the slide showing the 5-year recovery rate for oral cancer. The the 5 years and the drug treatment can get rid of the tumor in 14 days. And this is the work done in India.
And slide two?
Slide two is to see from that data to show for 4 different cancers. One like a prostate cancer, the other one is pancreatic, the other one is breast cancer, the fourth one is a, a liver cancer. Those are common cancers. And these are the 4 examples of the totally 25 25 different cancers we are all use. When this drug called terametricol or M4M used with a second drug, that second drug is already FDA approved, can totally um, uh, induce the survival of the people, tumor disappear, and to beyond 100 days. So the first slide is 5 years result. This one is beyond 100 days result. And this is already very, very impressive. This data is a mouse model data. If you put the cancer into a mouse system and see the effect. So the number 3 slide is to say controlling COVID-19 pandemic is you need this compound M4M, it's a plant lignum, and in combination and to use to treat COVID-19 patients. In the meantime, you develop a good recombinant viral large amount of antigens for this virus, and with very low cost, and to use that to make all the uh, vaccine in cocktail. In this way, you can both use the treatment and also use the vaccine. The two together hopefully can control this pandemic. And this is the work still ongoing. It is the plan, and we have a very good plan and to try to succeed this result. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, because you shared with me that you are about to hit 90. What is the secret to long life and good health?
Uh, that's a question. One is I'm a Christian. I believe in God. God will let me to be in this world to do something good for the human being. Yeah. So every day wake up in the morning happily going to work.
What a blessing that is. Dr. Rucci, what's the one thing you'd like the viewer of this feature to walk away with? Leave us with some of your great words of wisdom.
uh, wisdom, that's very good. I think about it all the time. I think basically one should have an attitude to not to not to re too much thinking about get famous, get rich, and that sort of thing. Just be happy for doing the work itself, and in addition, to have a nice family. And I never neglect that part of my life. Cook every night for my family, and this is my happiness. Yeah, doing the work. When I need to do the work, I come back to be a mother, a grandmother.
What a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. Thank you so much, Dr. Rucci, for spending some time with me today and telling me about your passion that ends up helping the entire world. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.